The phone rang. It was my brother. After 3 years of complete, deafening silence, his name lit up my screen and my heart dropped into my stomach. It all came rushing back. The argument, the accusations, the final, devastating words that fractured our family and our trust. It wasn't just a fight. It was a betrayal that felt like a physical wound, one I was sure would never, ever heal. The human cost was immense. I carried this bitterness everywhere. Family gatherings became a minefield of avoidance and unspoken tension. I felt this constant, low-grade anger simmering just below the surface, poisoning moments that should have been happy. This grudge was a poison, and I was the one drinking it every single day. I thought holding onto my anger was my way of holding him accountable, but in reality, I had built a prison of resentment around my own heart. The silence between us was nothing compared to the noise inside my own head. I answered the call. We exchanged maybe 30 seconds of awkward, meaningless small talk. But after I hung up, I was shaking. All the progress I thought I'd made vanished. In that moment, I realized with crushing certainty that the unhealed hurt had complete control over me. It felt like a life sentence, and I was just serving time, forever tied to the worst day of my life. Later that night, I looked in the mirror and asked myself a question: who is this really hurting? And the answer was immediate and brutal. It was hurting me. But my pride fought back instantly. My mind screamed that he didn't deserve my forgiveness, that letting go would mean what he did was okay. It felt like surrendering, like letting him win. I was caught in a war between my desperate need for peace and my stubborn grip on being right. That's when I started reading, desperately searching for a way out. I stumbled upon research, like from the Stanford Forgiveness Project, and it completely reframed my world. I learned that forgiveness wasn't about condoning the act or even reconciling with the person. It was about me. It was about canceling my own debt of resentment. It was the act of taking back the power the hurt had over my life and choosing my own peace over the painful past. So I made a choice, not for him, but for me. I decided to try to forgive. It wasn't a lightning bolt. It was quiet, difficult work. But a week later, a memory of the fight surfaced, and for the first time, the usual spike of white-hot anger was just a dull ache. It was the first sign that the poison was losing its potency. A key practice for me was writing a letter I knew I would never send. I filled pages with every ounce of rage, hurt, and disappointment. I finally gave my pain a voice without fear of judgment, and it felt like lancing a wound, letting all the infection finally drain out. As the raw anger subsided, something else took its place, a sliver of empathy. I started to see him not as a monster, but as a flawed human being who was likely acting from his own place of pain and fear. It didn't excuse what he did, not at all, but it made it human. The hard shell of my rage began to crack, replaced by a deep sadness for the relationship we had both lost. This process also taught me that forgiveness and boundaries go hand in hand. I realized I could let go of the anger while also deciding what a safe, future relationship would look like. It wouldn't be the same as before, and that was okay. I was learning to protect the peace I was working so hard to build. A month later, I made the second call. This time, I was the one who dialed. My hand wasn't shaking, and my stomach wasn't in knots. I felt a quiet sense of calm, ready to speak from a place of healed peace, not simmering rage. It was still awkward, but it was different. It was the first conversation in years that wasn't layered with unspoken resentment. Over the next few months, something incredible happened. I started noticing the absence of the hurt. The chronic tension in my shoulders eased. I could think of my brother without that immediate clench in my gut. The weight I had been carrying for years was finally, truly gone. My life is no longer defined by that one painful event. I am free. Before, my past was my present. Now, the past is simply the past. Our relationship isn't what it once was, and it may never be, but it's something new, something built on the foundation of my own inner peace, not on the ruins of our old resentment. The ultimate boon wasn't fixing my relationship with him, it was healing my relationship with myself. I found a peace that is more valuable than any apology I ever could have received. The wound is now a scar. It's a part of my story, a reminder of what I survived, but it no longer has the power to cause me pain. I can touch it, acknowledge it, and feel nothing but the strength I gained from healing it. If you are carrying a similar weight, know this: forgiveness isn't weak. It is the ultimate act of power and self-love. It's not about forgetting what happened. It's about choosing not to let what happened destroy your future. You don't have to carry that poison another day. You have the power to put it down, to heal your own heart, and to finally be free.